I wonder how ASMR and whispers sound with a blocked nose. There's no air running through my nostrils right now. Mouth breather, pure mouth breather, this is tough. I might get out of breath in the next 5 minutes. Still an athlete, I still got very good cardiovascular conditioning. But this is crazy, bro. What I do for you guys. But anyway, guys, this type of video, this ramble type of video has been highly requested. I had no idea that you guys loved these so much. So here we are with a whole array of topics that we're going to discuss, and I think I have some pretty good topics right here to my left. And we're going to start with Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. If you haven't seen the fight, I don't know if they're already doing reruns. You should have watched it live. It was on Netflix. Not for free. If you have a Netflix, then yeah. But yo, you want to talk about the sweet science of boxing. I don't know how many of you have seen the Floyd Mayweather Canelo fight. That fight was the first time Canelo had ever been in that situation. Masterful performance from Floyd, really schooled him. The Canelo was too young. The rehydration clause. Floyd cherry-picked this fight. There was all kinds of stuff spoken about that fight to give Canelo, who by the way is one of my favourite fighters. I love Canelo. I think up until Saturday he was the face of boxing. He's a sensational fighter. But, you know, there was all types of reasons as to why that doesn't really count for Canelo. Floyd doesn't want to fight Canelo right now. He would never fight Canelo. Okay. Terence Crawford is actually older than Canelo, I think by 2 years, right? Canelo's 30, or maybe 3 years. Canelo's 34, 35, and Bud is 37. Masterful. This performance was sensational. Bud looked like a tank. By the way, what did they fight at? Super middleweight, so 168. This guy came from 135. He came from lightweight to welterweight 147. He moves up to super lightweight, to middleweight, to super middleweight 168. By the way, Canelo Alvarez has the power to knock out light heavyweight fighters 175. And Bud, don't get it twisted, Canelo's a great fighter, so he definitely hit Terence Crawford, but it did nothing. Not once was he hurt, and Terence Crawford has been hurt by lighter guys at lower weight classes, but Canelo couldn't lay a glove on him to sting him. And if you love boxing, and I'm talking about the art of boxing, this is one of those fights. Before I recorded this video, I actually just rewatched the Terence Crawford Errol Spence Jr. fight. Errol Spence, that's my dog. I was rocking with Errol Spence Jr. before I started to mess with Bud, but masterclass. Bear in mind when this fight happened, like 4 years ago, 3 years ago now. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence were both on the pound for pound list, so this was actually a clash of pound for pound fighters, and that's what we saw. Terence Crawford is literally goated. He just demolished Canelo, beat a pound for pound in Errol Spence Jr., destroyed Kell Brook, Sean Porter. Like he's taken out some of the best of who he can fight, the best of his own division, moved up like 2-3 weight classes and took out the goat of one of the goats of boxing. Honestly, he is sensational. In the world of Saudi fights being put on by Turkey Al-Sheh, I think that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but in the world of that, you know, the Francis Ngannou versus AJ, Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. The next big one is actually, there's two. There's Jake Paul versus Tank, and then there's Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Tyson Fury. Now, the latter that's crazy. I literally think, whatever. I don't even think I'll talk about that fight. Maybe when it's closer to the date, I'll give it a quick thought. But Jake Paul, I've spoken about Jake Paul on these Ramble videos before, and I've told you guys that although you guys may not like him too tough, I actually respect what he does. He's like I said, what you think of him as a person. And I'm not really disputing that with you guys, but what he's doing as a non-boxer trying to get into the sport is admirable. He's not cherry picking and just beating up random guys. He's taking actual fighters, yes, maybe past their prime, but actual MMA fighters, some boxers, and he's fighting them sometimes. Most of the time he wins, sometimes he loses, like Tommy Fury, but his approach is actually admirable. Tank. I think Tank is probably my favourite fighter. He's been my favourite fighter for years, Tank. And Tank is actually on his way out of boxing. So this is probably going to be one of his last money fights before he really just gets out. He'll probably be back in the future if the bag is right, but Jake Paul, unless there's a hydration clause and Jake Paul gets all the way down to like 1, I don't even know if it's possible because Jake Paul walks around at like 230 pounds, 220. Jake Paul's actually massive, so I don't know how that fight's gonna work. It's an exhibition, so whatever happens, it doesn't go on anyone's official record, but that fight's gonna be, I don't know, interesting, strange. What do you guys think of that fight? You know that we have to address Young Thug before this even starts. Yeah, comment down below what you think about Young Thug. Is Young Thug a snitch, or is he not? Is Gunner a snitch, or is Gunner not? Most of you understand the case, most of you have seen the case, you've followed the case. I genuinely think, especially after watching that Young Thug video where he broke it down, he was talking to Big Bank, whatever the hell his name is, and he was basically breaking down why he thinks that Gunner betrayed him and snitched on YSL. The other guy in his Duke, he snitched on him. Yak snitched on Duke, a bunch of other stuff. If you haven't seen that Young Thug interview, sit down, by the way. I would highly recommend it. I think it's really good. I know there's a lot of memes that a single interview has generated at least 10 golden memes. Nigga, I created you, nigga. Well, God created you, but I helped. I randomly, like at least 15 times a day, I say that to myself really loud. Nigga, I created you, nigga. Well, God created you, but I helped. Shout out to Young Thug. I've always loved Young Thug. But yeah, I know the interview has been memed a lot. But if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend you watching the entire thing, because it's emotional at times. It's really insightful. And of course, whenever something happens and you're privy to hearing anyone's side of the story, they say a story normally has 3 sides: your side, their side, and the truth. Even when you're able to hear one side of the story, and someone is a good orator, so you can listen to them talk for a long time. They have a good, not talking voice, but that's kind of what I mean. There's a word for it though. Not rendition. They have a good, they're a good orator, so they can speak, and you can listen to their way of speaking for a long time. Funnily enough, 6ix9ine, he is actually one of those people for me. I feel like I can listen to 6ix9ine tell stories forever. Like, he's just really charismatic, and his storytelling style is very intriguing, right? I think Thug's very similar. So if you haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend it. But the reason he said that Gunner betrayed YSL and snitched wasn't because he said that Young Thug did this, Young Thug did that, Duke did this, Duke did that, Yak did this, this person did this. It wasn't that. Basically, for all that don't know, a RICO case is basically a criminal organization that the government tries to bring down, but it really stems from the head of the organization. If you've ever watched Power, the federales, the US attorneys, they all wanted Lobos. He was the first official drug lord of Power, season 1, season 2. They wanted Lobos. They didn't really care about the distros, the primeras. They wanted the top dog. In this case, the top dog was actually Young Thug. And the second in command, the federales, they built it up to be Gunner. One of the second in command was Gunner, but the top dog was Young Thug. If part of this RICO was if they were able to declare, basically to prove that YSL, instead of a musical organization, instead of just a group of friends, it was actually a criminal organization, then that would indict the top of the food chain, who's Young Thug, who can go away for the rest of his life. By taking the plea that he did, Gunna basically said that, can I go home? They're like, you can go home, but before you go home, just admit to us that YSL is a gang, it's a criminal organization. He's like, okay, it's a gang, it's a criminal organization. I thank you, Gunna. You can go home. Meanwhile, Thug, who's still in prison, all of his friends, Duke, Yak, all of them, they vehemently denied that YSL was anything but just a conglomerate of friends and a music group. But the fact that the number 2 in charge, below Young Thug, admitted, testified, or he didn't really get on the stand to testify, but it was part of his testimony that it is a gang, they do criminal activity, it put Young Thug in a very sticky situation. Everyone knows that Young Thug got a plea, he got out of prison, and ever since then he's not spoken to Gunna, he hasn't liked Gunna. Lil Baby has fallen out of Gunna, a lot of rappers, a lot of people have fallen out of Gunna. And yeah, I'm reiterating the story for your relaxation, but also what do you guys think about the situation? Do you guys think that interview that came out, that interrogation that came out years ago in 2015-14 of Young Thug in prison talking to those police officers, do you think that was snitching? Do you think Gunna snitched? And even if people snitch, do you guys care? It's weird though, because a lot of people, including myself, don't really care that Gunna snitched. If people start to believe that Young Thug snitched, a lot of people are not gonna care. But it's weird that everyone seemed to care when 6ix9ine snitched. And this is one of the things that 6ix9ine has been saying on, well, every chance he gets, every time he talks to DJ Academics, whatever podcast he goes on, this is everything that he's been saying, like, people just pick and choose what they care about. I've been saying that in my life, maybe not on this channel, but I've been saying that for the longest time because it's just facts. One situation here, now I mess with you heavy so you can do this and I'm not gonna care. One guy over here does the exact same thing. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that, that is wrong, it goes against all my morals. It's just interesting. But comment down below what you think about Young Thug. Also, how can I forget all of these jail phone calls exposed Young Thug? I don't know who dropped them, I didn't even think this was possible, but people speak on prison phones all the time. But people, civilians, fans around the world are never privy to these conversations, but for some reason in this case someone had all of Young Thug's recordings and dropped every single one of them. And in one of them he's dissing Glorilla, calling Glorilla, people say that Glorilla looks like Rihanna. He was calling her Brianna. He's saying she's ugly. Look at this picture right here. Does this woman look ugly to you guys? The answer is no. There's no discussion. There's no Glorilla is fine as hell. So I don't know what Young Thug was talking about. He came out and apologized to Glorilla publicly. She actually ended up dissing Young Thug. And Mariah the Scientist, I guess Young Thug was on the phone to Mariah and he was dissing Glorilla to her, which is interesting. But yeah, Glorilla's fine as hell, bro. Have you guys seen that video? I'm sure a lot of you have seen that video of that woman, the Karen, who was at a baseball game and the ball was hit off the pitch. I don't watch baseball, I don't know the terminology. Home run, it hit the stands. The Karen went to pick up the ball, find the ball. It landed around her region. Some other guy comes from another region, finds the ball before all of them, gets to the ball before all of them, walks back to his region and gives the ball to his son. Nope, because here comes Karen. She storms over and says, hey man, breath probably smell hot as hell. Hey man, this is my ball, what the hell, you took the ball off me. Listen, since I said I don't watch baseball, someone let me know in the comments what is the baseball etiquette for that, because I watched this video at least 4 times. The the woman never had possession of the ball. Just because the ball lands somewhere in your region does not make it yours. You literally have to be in possession. That's what I'm under the illusion of, right? He was the first person in possession of that ball, yet the woman claimed that he took it off her. And people in the comments of these videos a lot of them were dissing the Karen, but a lot of people agreed that no, like, the guy was in the wrong. And I'm looking at that to say, like, I seriously don't get it. This wasn't like that millionaire CEO that took that tennis ball or the tennis towel or whatever it was off that little kid during the US Open. That was completely different. He literally took it out of the kid's hand, and the kid's like, what the fuck? The tennis player afterwards gave him a new set of whatever. He gave him like some compensation, just like this baseball kid got, like, it was his birthday, he got like a free baseball bat, a ball or whatever. So the way people were acting up got them basically nice to victims. But yeah, let me know. Like, I don't know the etiquette. Maybe when a ball lands in someone's vicinity, it's not baseball etiquette for someone in another vicinity to go grab the ball. Maybe I'm ignorant in that. So someone let me know, because I watched that video like, why are people on this woman's side? This is not the same situation as another situation that we've all seen, where we all see the man, the CEO, the millionaire, by the way, CEO, in the wrong. It's just interesting. I know this happened ages ago. Internet-wise, it's ancient, but it only happened like 3 weeks ago. But I want to talk to you guys about the incident where Rampage Jackson Son beat the brakes off of that wrestler. And yo, when I first saw the video, I remember waking up at like 4 a.m. in the morning, and you know, American time is different to UK time, so the video was already on my TL, my timeline, and I was watching the video, and I was like, in my head, I don't know if it was because I'm tired, but my immediate reaction was, there's no way this video is real, bro. This is just a Twitch stunt, a streaming stunt done to increase the profile of Rampage Jackson Son. He wants to be a streamer, and there's no way this is real. But the more you watch the video, it's like, okay, that's fake, that punch is fake. Hold on, like, bro, these punches are flipping real, bro. By the 20th punch, it's like, brother, this guy is literally, he's out cold, he's dying right now, what's going on? And then the other guy stopped him, and bro, what an out of body experience. What a mad clip, bro, to have a clip like that, especially streamed, like for a general audience to just see. It's like, yo, apparently, so this is not apparently, the backstory to that was the guy who got the victim, I can't remember his name, he done a wrestling stunt on Rampage Jackson Son. He got like a, I don't know, like a bottle, and he smashed it on his head. It was like a prop, like it was a fake moment. It's supposed to be a wrestling, what they called, man, the wrestling terminology, a bit like a gig. Rampage Jackson Son is not a wrestler, so obviously he has no idea what that was, so he just took it as disrespect. I also think that the person who was giving Rampage Jackson advice, he didn't realize that Rampage Jackson Son was not a wrestler, because he was giving Rampage Jackson Son completely normal wrestling terminology. Even I understood it. He's like, yeah, make sure you give him the receipt. A receipt in wrestling. Of course, wrestling is not real, it's scripted, and the hits are not real. But whenever someone hits you hard, whenever someone goes overboard in wrestling, there's a really famous clip of Brock Lesnar giving a receipt to, was it the Big Show? I can't remember who it was. But when you do a move, but you do too much, and it actually hurts the wrestler has a right to let you know by doing something real back to you. And then you know, oh crap, like that last move I did was too much. That's what a receipt is. When he was explaining it, it all made sense to me, because I understand that kind of lingo, that terminology, I get the concept. But then I started to think, yo, I could completely understand why someone like Rampage Jackson Son, who at this point is literally streaming in front of millions of kids. Like, these kids are literally just gonna get him like riled up, like an NBA YoungBoy concert. They're just gonna get him riled up, bro, and he's gonna take that to mean, oh yeah, like I get to receipt, whatever. I get to hit this guy, perfect, because I'm gonna really like try to kill him. And that is exactly what happened. Like, this guy literally almost died in front of everyone. Crazy, crazy, crazy video, bro. But shout to him, like, he survived. Rampage Jackson Son is in mad trouble, I believe. The authorities, like, I think they arrested him still, and they're bringing charges. I don't know what the charges are gonna be, but hopefully, you know, I don't know if he even has a record, like a history of like violence and shit like that, but hopefully he doesn't, because I don't even think he's like that. I just think it was one of those situations where you get caught up in a moment. The thing I do know, that Rampage Jackson Son is a fighter, so he knows what is too much. So the amount of punches he was hitting an unconscious person, you as a human being watching, you know that could kill someone. So you doing it, it's like you would know that, okay, that's enough. I watch street fights all the time, and people in street fights, the moment someone gets knocked out, even the person who knocked the person out knows exactly when to stop, because they know if they carry on, it could get ugly. So I don't know, man. It could get ugly, and it could be okay. But yeah, if they hit him with an attempted murder charge, then that's tough. Yo, I want to address the Charlie Kirk situation really, really briefly, right? I always wanted to speak about it on the channel, I just didn't know what kind of video to speak about it, but a Ramble video is like perfect. I didn't even think, yeah, it's just perfect. Fuck, bro. So, although I'm really into politics, UK politics, and especially US politics, really into it, for some reason, this is crazy, and this might sound crazy to hear, bro, I've never heard of Charlie Kirk in my life. Like, when I saw the video, and there's two videos, one from really long range and one from really close range. When I saw the video, I first saw the video from far away, and the title of the video was oh my god, Charlie Kirk just got shot at Utah University. I was like, oh damn, like the way his body looked, because it was from really far away, right? But I could just tell the way his body looked when he got hit. I was like, that looks terrible. Like, that looks like a person who's seen a lot of people get knocked out before. He looked like he was unconscious right away, right? So you already knew it was bad, but I didn't know how big this guy was. I just thought he was like some Democrat, some Republican, definitely a political figure, but just some person. I didn't realize he was so big, right? But you then start to see like the reaction from people, right? I start to see, not on my own timeline, because the people on my timeline, the people I follow, like the people I know in real life, they don't really, they're all from the UK, and they're not into politics. But I follow a bunch of other pages that are either political or they're just entertainment pages, like, I don't know, Pop Base or whatever on Twitter, X. And yo, the reactions that were coming out, it made me say, whoa, like, who is Charlie Kirk? Went on Google, found out he's a Republican, basically a debater, very similar to what Ben Shapiro used to do back in the day when he used to just debate people. Very similar to Jordan Peterson, what he used to do, I guess. Right, did Jordan Peterson ever really like sit down and debate people? I don't really know. I think people just come to his shows, ask him questions, and he'll respond. I don't think it was a debate, but he would definitely go on panels and debate, right? And like, I was like, yo, that video. And then after all of this, I finally saw the second video, which basically confirmed everything that I saw from the first video. Yo, that video was crazy, bro. Now, like I said before, yeah, I didn't even know anything about Charlie Kirk before this incident. And I know a lot of people in the comments might right now be typing up, yo, Roscoe, before you form an opinion on Charlie Kirk, do a little bit of research on the guy before you form an opinion. Yo, bro, I'm not even talking about if I agreed with some of the things he said. I disagreed with a lot of the things he said. If you agreed with some of the things he said, if you disagreed with everything he said, I'm not even talking about that it's so crazy to me, because it's like, even if I vehemently disagreed wholeheartedly with everything someone said, and that's one of the most, they say is one of the most scary things about politics, because in politics you can literally say something and maybe the masses agree with you, but there are a small group of people that everything you just said, however logical, however objective, there's a small group of people after everything that you say that vehemently disagree with everything that you just said. Some people might disagree with some things, part A, part C, part D, part F, but there's someone that disagrees from A to Z on everything that you just said. I'm not really here to speak about whether or not you agreed with the things he said in his life, or his values, if they were against your own values. The way people, not everyone to be fair, but the way people were celebrating his death, yeah, it made me think that, bro, this guy must have been like a damn Hitler type. This guy must have been like a true KKK member or something. You know, the kind of reaction you'd expect when there's certain people that when they pass, you're not like, oh man, that is really sad, that's crazy. I think Bin Laden, for most people in the West, for example, was one of those people. When Obama announced that they got him, there was actually a rejoicement, funnily enough, in the nation of America, in the West, really. But with this, it's like there's not half, but like there's a small group of half of the country that's celebrating. There's a small group, well, there's a larger majority of half that's like, damn, that's a sad video, but hey, I didn't agree with anything he stood for. And then there's the entire right that's like, man, this is crazy. Like, what? Like, wait, just, yo, it's nuts. Guy had a whole family. I think his family were actually at the university, and this video, you know, the internet, this video is literally online forever, bro. Both videos or angles. They eventually caught the shooter. It's crazy because they caught one guy right away. Hey, I have to try to remain silent. They caught another guy, 2 old elder men. I wonder who described the shooter, because the police apprehended 2 elderly men, but then they eventually caught him. What, Tyler something, 22 years old, bro. At 22 years old, when your life is literally hasn't even begun yet, pretty much, it's only just beginning to just crash out like that. It's me. I can't even fathom it. I can't even wrap my head around it, bro. Yo, I think Utah have the death penalty, right? And even if they didn't, you're in jail for the rest of your life. It's like, bro, bro, I don't get it at all. Let me know what you guys think about the Charlie Kirk situation in the comments. I know a lot of you guys, well, I don't actually know the political swingings of my American viewers. I don't know if a lot of you are left and a lot of you are right. I don't know. I can only assume that I definitely have some left, or a lot of people that watch my videos on the left, but I also have a lot of people that watch my videos on the right, so I actually don't know what the discourse is. But damn, that situation was crazy, bro. Like, yo, crazy. But anyway, man, I think there's a UFO and police outside my back window right now. I think aliens just landed and someone called the police, so like, this is getting mad. Someone's snoring downstairs. It's getting all mad, so I think this is a good time to end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this whispered ramble, and yeah, I know you guys enjoy this. I really should do like some bi-weekly, once a monthly whispered ramble for you guys, because I think, you know, I'm a yapper and there's always things to talk about, so I think it just makes sense